Welcome to the Lighthouse. I'm thrilled to have this time with you. Take this moment to get comfortable like always and settle into the axis of your spine and the circularity of your breath. And I use that word very strategically, not the linear nature of the breath, but the circular, even spherical nature of your breath, settling into that. So for today's work, as we wrap up a beautiful week of session work together, for today's work, we're going to be working with a few different meditations that have everything to do with harnessing the power of our mind, harnessing the power of the mind. So I was speaking in yesterday's session about the defining characteristic of this gap time that we're in right now, this transitional era. The defining characteristic of this time is choice. And so if we want to really work with awakening and harnessing and channelizing the power of our minds, one of the greatest lenses, there's so many good lenses, I shouldn't say one of the greatest, but an efficient lens for working with the power of the mind is understanding the nature of shakti. So shakti, we've got 5 primary shaktis that we can draw upon. But before I begin unpacking these 5 shaktis, I want to give you the first meditation so you can be listening about the shaktis, but actually, uplinking the meditation right away. So pull with the radiance point of the thumb, pull the base segment of your ring fingers down like so. And then pull the ring finger and the pinky finger in towards the center of the palm. And then like 4 little bolts of lightning stick up the index and middle fingers. And then you're gonna hover your elbows alongside your ribs like so. And then you're simply going to open and close the fingers like so. This is an amazing meditation. And it looks like, again, I always say this, it looks like a whole bunch of nothing, but it's going to do so much. This is the intelligence meditation. So when we move our fingers in these interesting and repetitive ways, it has an immediate synchronicity with, the waves of the brain and the steering of the waves of the brain. So tap right into this intelligence meditation right away here. And I would like for you to just breathe long and smooth while you're doing this, keeping your body as relaxed as you possibly can and closing the eyes down to 9/10 of the way closed so that your drishti, your gaze, can be set at the tip of your nose. Okay? So we're working with the power of the mind, harnessing the power of the mind, and using this first meditation to get us in that pocket so that we can speed up and accelerate the movement of evolution in every aspect of our being. So our first shakti that we can really be calling upon, and shakti is its strength, its power, and its energy. So there's strengths and powers and energies that we can use to cultivate choice and change and creativity in the way our minds are working and in the way that we are presencing in the whole of our life. So Kriya Shakti, you hear me use the word Kriya a lot in integrative practices. Kriya is that spontaneous doing of the action. It's a spontaneous doing of the action that, again, speeds up and accelerates our movement towards evolution. It's the doing of the right thing. And we have indwelling within us this infinite capacity to always be doing the right thing. And so Kriya Shakti is that spontaneous drive and desire to be moving in that direction more often than not, and so all of the strategies of all of these meditation practices get us closer to Shakti so we can become more like the Shakti. It gets us closer so we become more like it. So we've got this Kriya Shakti, which is the power to do. Okay, and then we have Chit Shakti, which is it's the intelligence of existence. Keep on going with your intelligence meditation here. Chitta Shakti, it's the intelligence of existence. It's the inner voice within us. It's the aspect of the mind that is pure intelligence. Okay, it's the power to know. It's when you know something that you didn't know that you knew, but suddenly you know it. It's this boundless power to know, Chitta Shakti. It is the power and the strength and the energy to know. And then there's Icha Shakti, which is the power of your free will. We want to use the power of our free will on the daily, on the ordinary, in our world work, and on the path. So free will, it's your willpower, right? It's the power to steer, you know, and at a certain point in our development with this kind of stuff, the stars no longer have the say. When we access a certain quality and clarity of consciousness, the stars aren't steering our fate. We become the ones holding the rein. We are steering, right? So, you know, Icha Shakti, it's the power to steer. And then there's Jnana Shakti, which is the innate wisdom that you have within you to build, to give. It's the wisdom to build and to take action, right? So it's related to Kriya Shakti. So breathing deeply, just staying in this for another couple of minutes. And then there's Ananda Shakti, which is the full, unabashed embodiment of joy. It's the power to enjoy your life. Not always just doing and checking off the list, but it's the power to enjoy. Notice how your whole electromagnetic field is hopefully becoming more vibrant. You're feeling it as a stronger presence in the way in which you are presencing into the richness of this moment. With the power to do, the power to know, the power to steer, the power to build, and by God, the power to enjoy it. Unsullied. Just so soft. I've been talking a lot this week about becoming soft. That this is an important characteristic in the hero's and heroine's journey. Unsullied by judgment or division, unsullied by memory or trauma or belief or concept or opinion. Really resting in the native genius that is inside of you, the native genius that knows infinitely all that there is to know. So for the last little segment of this meditation, I'd like for you to change your breathing technique and keep opening and closing the fingers, the index and middle fingers in the intelligence meditation, and then just make the O shape with the mouth and sip in the luminosity, the clarity, the light of the sun. This is literally the sipping in of the solar power, bringing more momentum into your relationship to these 5 shaktis that I just introduced. Breathing it in. And then exhaling out of the nose. So we use these strengths, these powers, and these energies that are all around us and 100% available all the time, but that are simultaneously and equally already within us. We use them so that we can develop an elevated relationship, to have a relationship with what it is that we know needs to live inside of us, to have an elevated relationship with what it is that we know needs to live inside of us, and to speak up for that, to speak up for that, to take action around that, to steer for that, to build for that, and thereby to enjoy that. And when we begin to speak up for what it is that we know must live inside of us, then we become an attractor for that. Because energy begets energy, right? Like creates like. So you become an attractor for what it is that you know you need to be growing in your life garden. You become a full-blown magnet for what it is that you are taking a stand for. This is what I'm pointing to when I say, when we get closer to the power and energy and strength of Shakti, we become more like it until we become it. So 3 more breaths here in this intelligence meditation, and then relax your hands down onto the top of the knees and tune into the reliable inner chamber of your mind. Again, we're focusing on harnessing the power of the mind. So we're not just using our scholarly mind, and in this community we have an incredible broad bandwidth of scholarly minds. But the thing about these meditation technologies is that they cannot be entirely understood with just the scholarly mind. We have to also be radically integrating our energetic intelligence. And so that's where this kind of stuff, comes into play. Because this kind of stuff is what expands us. And then it is what it is that is expanding us, what it is that has expanded you, is going to thereby be what it is that protects you. So as the consciousness expands and we have more and more of that rapture available to us, then we no longer find our protection in the rigidity of those old wobbly structures. We find our protection in the expanded field, in the undifferentiated field of unity, that quality of consciousness. So I'm assuming that you've already broken the mudra and you're ready for the next practice. Bear with me here for a second. I can still hear this music a little bit, and I'm going to sing. Why is my computer doing this? Okay, there we go. It's off. So we're going to do the Jupiter Kriya. So you're going to be using primarily your Jupiter fingers, which are your index fingers. And these are the fingers that are, these are like the Icha Shakti fingers. These are the fingers that steer you towards your own auspiciousness. And when we are in alignment with our auspicious mind, that's when we are in alignment with prosperity. Okay, so the index finger is your Jupiter finger, it's your prosperity finger. Okay, so you're going to hook the index fingers like so, and then you're going to curl middle ring and pinky fingers into the center of the palm, and then wrap the thumbs around those other fingers. So you have 2 choices regarding where you want to hover the mudra, the Jupiter Kriya mudra. So you can hover it in front of your heart center if you feel like you need to be magnetizing and accumulating and consolidating more of these Shaktis that I've just been talking about. If you need more of this energy, strength, and power so as to choose and create and so forth in your life. If you need to pull energy in, then hover the mudra in front of your heart. And if you feel sufficiently resourced from the inside, then you can hover the mudra in front of your brow center, which is going to create a kind of projection of what's already inside of you. So are you bringing in nourishment, or are you ready to project it out in service of whatever your spontaneous drive and desire is, that's aligned with your soul mission and that's aligned with Dharma? So the closer we get to Shakti, the more we become like it, then more aspects of our lives naturally become dharmic. They naturally become aligned with our soul's needs and mission, and with the larger need and mission of existence as a whole. So again, get into that unsullied state of luminosity that is your undivided mind. This is the integrative mind, right? That can include all of the richness, that can include all of the otherness, that can get knocked off its beam, but then very quickly respond. So the rebound time is constantly shrinking, right? So here we are, here and here. So I'm going to give you this mantra that's going to allow us to sync up with the infinite. The one who chooses the infinite is chosen by the infinite. The one who chooses it is chosen by it. And again, we're doing this through our expanded nature. And so yesterday I was talking about how we're in this incredible transitional time, right? From living lives that are 3D to living lives that are 5D. So, the 3D life that we've been very habituated into and accustomed to, and frankly, our nervous systems are very adapted to because it's familiar and it feels safe, right? So our 3D sort of essence has been very linear and very normative. But as we move towards 5D, that linearity is dissolving, and we are becoming mandalic and spherical and quantum. Entirely new quantum blueprints are capable of downloading through us, so that we can become these evolutional beings. And that's what all these systems of practice do for us. They get us closer to the essence and to the energy, the clarity and the cleanliness of it, so that we can expedite, speed up, and accelerate, and spontaneously move towards what we know is going to give more life to life. Give more life to life. Okay, so did I tell you how to breathe? I can't remember. I want you to breathe through an O shape in the mouth, and then exhale out of the nose. So I'm going to sing this mantra that's going to get us in sync with the infinite. So just stay in it. This mantra, this mudra that you're in, when it's paired up with this mantra, will very efficiently take the trash out of the subconscious mind. So if we want to harness the true power of the mind, we've got to address the subconscious mind and hack that mainframe a little bit. hara kame, yeah, hara 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 gobinde, hara 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 mukande, hara 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 udare, hara 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 apare, yeah, hara 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 hariya, hara 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 kariya, hara 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 nidaname, hara 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 kame, hara 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 gobinde, hara 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 mukande, hara 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 udare, hara 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 apare, hara 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 hariya, hara 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 kariya, hara 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 nidaname, hara 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 kame, yeah, hara 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 gobinde, hara 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 mukande, hara 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 udare, hara 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 pare, yeah, hara 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 hariya, hara 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 kariya, hara 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 nidaname, hara 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 kame, hara 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 gobinde, hara 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 mukande, hara 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 udare, hara 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 pare, yeah, hara 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 hariya, hara 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 kariya, hara 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 nidaname, hara 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 kame. Stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. Go deeper into it. Go deeper into it. Sit up straighter. Breathe deeper. Pull the elbows apart. Expand. Find your relationship and your protection and what it is that's expanding you. And your connection to what it is that is sustaining us. And that which is liberating us. And that which uplifts us, which is the infinite, right? That's courting us all the time. That which is doing everything all the time. That which is guiding us by its grace. That which is nameless and desireless and enveloping everything. Inhale, 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 inhale. Hara 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 gopinde, hara 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 mukande, hara 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 udare, hara 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 pare, hara 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 hariya, hara 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 kariya, hara 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 nidaname. the body that's inside of your body right now. Stay inside the mind that's inside your mind, and the heart that's inside your mind. Stay inside in the sublime and subtle internalized awareness. You know, the less physically exerting that a practice is, which this one was not, right? The more we can align with the subtle nuances, the sinuous transfigurations that are occurring in the meditation. Use these last moments, these last couple of breaths that we have together here this week to honor the fact that you are part of an infinite sea of energy that is not in any way prone to be fearful or to decay or disintegrate. You are part of an infinite sea of possibility, of auspiciousness, of energy and power and strength, which is the capacity, your capacity to choose and create and change. To choose and create and change. So if you haven't already, break the mudra, relax your hands into your lap. Simply sit in the Jyotish Samadhi, in the incandescent effulgence that is your native genius. That is your original medicine that has been with you since the dawn of time, that will be with you for longer than your scholarly mind can even possibly begin to imagine. Feel all of the elements harmoniously collaborating inside of your anatomy to create an incredibly vibrant ecosystem within which you have the opportunity to exist and grow and be and express. Let your eyes flutter open if they haven't already. Thank you so much for being here. Satnam and Namaste, friends.